Okay, preset number 2 is loaded up. It's called Bach to the Future. And it's based on a cathedral-style organ with modern modulation. And as you can see, bubble vibrato is not being used in this particular snapshot. So what we're going to do is we're going to change it out into a looper. We're going to put the looper at the beginning of the chain, and we're going to run through all the pedals, and you're going to hear what pedals are really doing what to the signal chain and giving me that big organ effect. Alright, so let's get into it. Okay, so we've got the loop queued up, and you're going to notice that there's no high gain here, but it is the same signal chain, and the Bogner pedals are not being engaged. We're just passing right through them. The Hedra pedal is not really being used in this preset per se, and other than that, the signal chain is as follows. The Brothers by Chase Bliss going into the Condor by Chase Bliss for some boost and some mid-focus, then going into the looper block, then going into the compressor block, then splitting into the left and right effects loop. First, you're going to hear the Auto Bits Junior for some boost and mid-focus, and then going into the Enzo for some sustain and a little bit of modulation. Then going left chain, we're hitting the Dream Sequence by Hologram Effects, which is giving me some octave modulation and some rhythmic movement. Then going into the Marshmallow pedal by Alexander Pedals for the low octave, and then going into the EP Booster, and then hitting the amp block. And then on the other side, on the right side, you have the bass whammy giving me 2 octaves above, going into the Warp Vinyl for some modulation, and then going into the amp block, and then going into the reverb block, then going into the Hedra, which isn't being used, and then going into the Polymoon for some delay. Both pedals are by Maris. Then coming out of that into the Eventide Space pedal for some more reverb, and then coming out of that into ADA cabinet simulators, left and right stereo, then going into the Beat Buddy and using the Beat Buddy as a monitor, coming out of that into a Bose Bluetooth speaker. And that is the signal chain as follows, and now let's get into it. Okay, I've got a loop ready to go, and I've got a snapshot that bypasses all the effects blocks. When I engage the next snapshot, which is the first one, you're going to hear all the Maris pedals turn on, you're going to hear the amp block turn on, the compressor, and you're also going to hear the reverb turn on as well. That's internal inside the HX stop. The loop only has the Brothers and the Condor and the reverb coming from the Eventide Space. So let's get into it. Engage the EP booster now. Now I'm going to engage Dream Sequence for some rhythmic octaves. The bass whammy. Warp Vinyl for some modulation. And that's your preset. Bach to the Future.
some loops queued up here based off of All the Things You Are, Jerome Kern Classic. I like to call it All the Things You Are Not, so I changed a few things. The background is the Bach to the Future organ simulation, and I'm going to practice over the changes with the lead tone. Let's get into it.